Eileen Hull is a designer, author, and licensed artist with Sizzix. She is an active blogger sharing projects, crafting tips, her latest design work, and new trends in crafting. Today, Eileen is sharing her new ScoreBoards Treat Topper die. When I saw this, I thought of 100 ways that I could use it. I'm delighted to welcome Eileen Hull. Hi, Eileen.
Hi, Tiffany. Thanks for having me. You were getting me all choked up hearing the story about your mom and Hazel, and it's just exciting to see that you're taking the new wave of craft shows on, and you're a pioneer too in your own way. So anyway, as Tiffany said, I'm here today to talk about my new die, the Sizzix ScoreBoard Treat Topper. And it was nice that she said it so distinctly, because people are saying tree topper. No, treat topper. This is what it looks like. And so this is the piece. So today I'm going to take you through a demo. I haven't done one in a while, and I know that Pam is out there in the audience, and I saw that she had a question on the Hive about making the investment of buying a Sizzix machine. So it happened that I was planning to do a demo anyway, so I am going to do that today. And so I'll talk a little bit about what it does, why I like mine, and you can get a little information and see a cool project. So Tiffany, if you would put the project up, I'm going to adjust my camera. Okay, here's my big shot, my best friend. Here are some of the things that you will need to produce a die. First of all, you need these two clear acrylic plates, the cutting plates. You need the die, which is this. This has a design pressed on here. The ScoreBoard dies are kind of my invention. Until now they would cut paper, but they would not cut thicker materials and score them. So the ScoreBoards all have an extra scoring line in here that goes a little bit deeper than a regular die would, so it gets a nice clean fold line. Sizzix sells mat board by the package in 6x13 sheets that fit nicely on here. Half of a 12x12 paper fits on here just great. So I'm going to show you, if we have time, how to do this with paper too. It's very easy, and it just gives more versatility to the die. But basically what we're going to do is take the piece of mat board and make our sandwich. Oops, I like to just make sure everything's lined up. We put it in the die cut machine. I'm going to stand up here. It takes a little muscle, especially when you're going at a weird angle here. And you just start rolling it through. And what that's doing is pressing the paper and the blade together and cutting it. Now what I do sometimes with the ScoreBoard dies is I roll it through once and I roll it back again just to make sure. It usually does cut fine the first time, but it just saves me mat board in case it doesn't work. Then I'm all set. Some mat board is thicker than others. If I'm using the Sizzix mat board, but if you're using mat board from Hobby Lobby, or if you're using a nice embossed mat board or fabric mat board, it may have a little trouble cutting. Or it'll cut it, but it just may not be. You might have to go over it with an X-Acto knife. It will work. Okay, so this is what we come out with, and these are the pieces that are included on the die. The one that we're going to do today is this large one. So I'm just going to pop that out, and I'm going to use this piece as well. So we can put the others over here. Okay. Now if you do happen to get a little edge that's raw, I just take a piece of sandpaper and buff it off. No problem. So now what the other feature that the Sizzix Big Shot will do is it will emboss. So I'm going to take this again, and now this is this is a textured impression folder. This is going to add texture and dimension to the mat board. So this is a platform that's got to go in, and I'm using no tabs. You put down your acrylic piece, and here's the other one. And then I'm going to take my piece of mat board, and if there are any little pieces left, I just poke them out with the, that happens with little tiny pieces, my stylus. Now I'm going to insert this in the textured impression folder. Now, the interesting thing is you can either emboss it or deboss it, depending on what look that you want. And all that you do is you just know that you want the side with the score line on it. That's your finished side. So if you want debossed, you flip it over. If you want it embossed, you keep it up. So I'm just going to do it like, oops, there goes my timer. I hope I'm not done. I was off a little, so let me know if I need to go. Okay, so I'm putting that in on my platform with an acrylic plate. I have my folder, and I'm going to roll this through. Now this, when you do the mat board, sometimes it takes a little bit of extra muscle here because it's used to doing paper, but this is pretty thick, so it takes a little bit more push. So what we come out with is a nice, if you can see that, embossed textured piece. So I'm going to move this back over here, and then what I used to get the color on there were just two stamp pads, and this one decided to come apart, so we'll just have to make do. Hope it doesn't fly off. And I just take my paper towel here and just kind of, you don't even really need to blot it, but I kind of go where the leaves are, but just wherever I want, really. And I'm just very lightly going over this. I think it gives a nice dimension to the whole thing. I'll do a little more over here. You could also use one of those little sponge dabber things, but I think I did that last time, so I'll show you another way. And I'm just doing, oops, should have blotted that first. Oh well. Happy craft accident. So, after I have that done, I'm going to fold it, and this is the beauty of the scoring. You just fold it on the line, and then I don't have another bag. I knew I was forgetting something. Well, I'll just use the one that I had on the original. I'll just flip that off to show you how to do it. And then I'm going to staple that on there. I'm going to tie a ribbon up here in a minute, but I'll show you how I got this little piece, which we also cut out. And I'm going to just ink the edges. Uh-oh. Flopping around here. Could just put that in my hands, but that stuff never comes off. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp this. Actually, I'm going to go this way. Easier. And stamp Fabulous Friend. And then we have our little tag thing. Looks like I have a glare here. I don't know if you guys can see this. Okay, and then I'm going to add my pearls. Actually, I did one before, so I didn't know how much time I had. So let's just assemble this right now. Next thing I'm going to do is just take this, and you can add double stick tape if you want to kind of get it in position. This was on here from last time. You don't want a staple buttons, that wouldn't be good. And I'm just using my Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher and attaching that on here. Oops. Alright, I didn't go through it. But anyway, and then you place that on there, and then you tie a ribbon around here. So that's the finished product. I did want to show you, though, how you can do this with paper, just real quick. Do we have time here, Tiffany? I'm sorry, I think my timer was off, but let's just run this through real quick, because people are confused sometimes about scoreboards, but they're very versatile and they can be used with paper. You just have to score them by hand, which is not a big deal, and I'll show you in 1 minute. It's just one fold. Okay, so I did the same thing that I did for the scoreboard, and I come out with all these cute little designs, but all I'm going to do if I want to use this with paper is I just score this, fold it in half, and I've got a tree topper made out of paper. So you don't just have to use the mat board.